Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Closing Table Tuesdays. I have a special guest today. Heather could not be here; she had to take care of her mother. But there's this place they call the other side of the river, and
God's country.
well, that's we'll have to question that one. But I had the famous Becky Bolton here from the Becky Bolton team. So, Becky, tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you been a realtor?
I have been since 2010, so over 16 years.
16 years. She only looks 16. My goodness. But uh, I've been a teammate of Becky's in a sense for a little over a year now,
Mhm.
almost two actually.
Wow.
Man, time flies.
When you're having fun.
It is, but today is going to be a great subject, especially between us two, because I am huge when it comes to schools,
Yeah.
and they're super important to me. I feel like we have neglected them for so many years now, and it's time to put the focus back on our public schools. Becky is dear to public schools, which her husband does a lot. He's a coach at the high school, which is a arch rival of ours, but we'll get into that in a little bit. But Becky, what's the first or second question you always get asked when it comes to a real estate transaction?
Well, one of the first questions is definitely schools. Maybe not a question, but always a statement. We need to be in a good school district. We need to be in the best school district. Where do we need to live to have the best education for our kids, the best sports to go along with the academics?
And you would say, well, along with that request of the best school, best district, also comes a higher price.
Correct.
So, my dream is, if what if we could fix all the schools, and then there is no, well, this is a good school or this is a bad
Right.
school, and it can be done. As a realtor, it's tough. It's tough when there's houses over here, but you kind of know the school may not be what they're looking for, so you have to push away from that house and then go sell them the same house over here that's $100,000 more just because of the schools.
Right. Right.
So, well,
And I think I'm going to pause you
yeah,
there because I think that it's totally dependent on the person. So I've come across buyers that have children with special needs, and there are certain school districts that or certain schools themselves that are better with special needs.
right.
We need to know that. We need to educate them, and that's where we need to send them. Maybe they're more interested in the athletics versus the academics, and then we need to know those schools that we need to send them to.
Very, very good point. And that's another reason that having a realtor in your transaction is super important, because those realtors, they know
Mhm.
where you can live for certain things, or you may can live anywhere and still go to that school. And these are
Right.
things you need to be asking, your realtor. It's very important to have one represent you. So, you always hear, there's nothing to do around here. There's nothing to do around here. Well, I argue that point all the time.
Sure.
To me, there is nothing like watching a middle school game, a high school game. I mean, it's some of the best sports.
Yeah.
It's still pure.
Yeah.
There's no money
Absolutely.
involved yet.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yet.
And it's kids that are giving it their all. They've
Mhm.
worked, all summer, all fall to get to a certain point, and it's fairly inexpensive.
Sure.
I mean, I think most gates are $8 to get in and
Yeah.
see a really good game. And I know one school you can come to, and the food is the absolute best. So, but listen, to
Cape
tell you,
Fear. We've got that
well,
that band concession stand and
I will say, Cape Fear's football. You have an amazing product out there. I mean, I think we were out there 2 years ago, and one of the guys that was with me came back with a shrimp plate, and it was amazing. And
hey, I want everybody to write that down. Brian Moore just said something good about Cape Fear football.
I never said Cape Fear.
You said football.
But no, it did. But it goes back and forth. Listen, hey, we're not far. We are only, somebody told me they had 3 weekends from school starting.
Yeah. Something. Yeah.
I know we got dead period next
Oh my
week,
goodness.
and
Yes.
then we come back, and then football's on. I mean, we're
Yeah.
playing within a month.
Yeah.
And this one right here, we have a really, really great week, rivalry week. You want to talk about rivalry week a little bit?
Yeah. So I get to school Brian that week of what side of the river is the best. So we go back and forth. This past year was a blast, and I think this year is going to be even more fun. I'm going to get a little more creative. But that week that our high schools play each other last year, this past season, not only was his son playing for high school and my husband coaching high school, but both of our sons were playing middle school, and they both were the quarterbacks playing against each other in that same week. So it was a blast. We had fun, and go Cape Fear.
And that's not the best part. The best part is both our sons enter high school this year.
Yes.
So we have 4 more years of them playing each other.
Yes.
So it's going to get pretty intense over the next few years. This year is going to be very interesting for us, I'll say, but I look forward to it. And y'all come to us this year, I think.
I
yes.
think so. Yeah,
yes,
I was looking at the
yes, yes.
schedule.
Yes. Well, listen, I have something very special planned for her. Just don't worry. I've had a lot of time to think about it. She went to my house and put in a what did it say?
I put a sign in his yard that says, "In this house, we cheer for the Cape Fear Colts." And he lives right in the middle of the Terry Sanford School District in a neighborhood. I tied balloons to it to draw attention and everything. And it sat there for hours.
I think I had foreclosure papers the next day. The neighbors were like, "You got to get him out of here.
You got to get out.
You got to get that guy out of here." Well, as a parent, Becky, what should people consider besides test scores on a school?
I think the size of the schools, number of students versus faculty versus teachers. I think athletics is very important. At least it is for our family, and I think there's a lot of other families out there like ours. Definitely the size. I think the size is a big one for me.
Well, and I'm going to take this next question because I'm currently running for Cumberland County School Board, and just a passion of mine, and I have spoke athletics. A lot of people get on me. I'm like, you got to talk about other things other than athletics, and I get it. You do right. But athletics are a foundation, and we have neglected it so long that it has hurt our schools. I mean, and you can say Cape Fear is a very athletic school. I mean, they do very well football. They do very well basketball, girls basketball, lacrosse. I mean, you name it, baseball. I mean, you have multiple track.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like us. And look at how those test scores and those students finish, and the values of the neighborhoods. I mean, you can point to the schools, and you can't say that athletics aren't an important part of school. I mean, it truly is.
Well, let me tell you my opinion on that. Mm-hmm. So I do come across people that are not necessarily interested in the athletics, and academics are very, very important. However, my opinion on the importance of athletics in school, especially in high school, is a couple of things. One, they learn team. They learn how to work as a team. They learn discipline. They learn how to take direction, because that coach may be the enforcer, right? They may be super tough on them. So they learn how to take criticism. They learn how to take direction. And for my kids, it keeps them out of trouble.
Absolutely.
My son plays 3 sports. My daughter plays 3 sports. And guess what? They don't have a lot of time to go and get in trouble. We don't have time to do anything fun or special either, but they don't have a whole lot of time to get in trouble. So I think that it just builds the overall character of the child, whether they go on to play D1 sports or, NBA, NFL, whatever. I'm not, anticipating my son to do that, but I'm anticipating growing an overall well-rounded person.
And as a realtor, I mean, do you think that schools attract businesses and families to the community?
100%. Absolutely.
Right. I mean, it's schools. I'm telling you that, I grew up here all my life, and I never really thought about school board and how it functioned, how it worked. As much as I've been involved and you've been involved in schools, this is an important board. I mean, it's our livelihood.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we don't fix them, what are we selling?
Well, and I like your idea of making them all great, right? Make the schools great again,
Yes.
Because you look at the most desired school districts in our area. Once they become a super desired school district, they get overcrowded.
Yep.
Right? So everybody's wanting to go to these more desired school districts, and then they become overcrowded. Where if they all are great, we don't have that issue.
What do you hear from builders today? I can't find lots.
Correct.
I can't find lots. So
Correct.
imagine if we put focus on some other school districts, because I mean, I drive every day, you drive every day. Bypass empty lots every day.
Yeah.
Empty spaces, empty areas. I mean, if we fix those areas and those schools, maybe those builders will have more lots to build and we could fix more areas up.
And it'd be more affordable housing.
Yes.
Because then we're not spending all this money in just one location, right?
Right.
I think overall it would benefit the entire industry.
But you've been in real estate for over 15 years, you said, right? 16 years. I've been roughly 25, and I'm younger than you. It's hard to believe that. But
if y'all believe that, I got another story to tell you.
She can sell oceanfront property in Arizona, right?
That's right.
So, what changes have you seen in the school districts since you've been selling real estate in Cumberland County? Have you seen a lot of change?
Yes, I have. When I first started, it was the inner city schools, and I'm not going to name specific schools, but the inner city schools were the most desired. That's where everybody wanted to be.
There's still one.
And I think now it's gravitated more towards the country schools. And you may or may not agree with me, but I think, and again, I'm not going to name names, but the most desired schools have gravitated more towards the country schools. But what's going to happen is they're going to get overcrowded, and then they're no longer going to be the most desired schools because things are going to start to drop.
Well, and I mean, like I said, I went to public school here in Cumberland County. Every year I graduated from a school on the other side of town. But what I saw back in those days growing up, Cape Fear was probably one of the weakest schools growing up, only because nobody lived out there.
Yeah.
It was very rural. I mean, I can't tell you how many kids went to school there, but now, I mean, you drive out east side of town. I mean, there's a neighborhood here, neighborhood there. I mean, new one going up. I mean, and I see what you're saying. I mean, and you're getting there,
right?
Slowly but surely. I mean, we definitely need to build some elementary schools and some middle schools around here for sure. Yeah. And I'm sitting there going, we talk about building new schools and stuff like that. People flip houses every day. They take old house. They flip it and they turn it into something nice. We need to take some of these older schools. So like Terry Sanford's landlocked. I mean, you're not building a new. I don't see how you're ever going to build a new school in Terry Sanford School District, because I think the requirement today is like 98 acres.
Wow.
Where are you going to buy 98 acres in Terry Sanford School District to build a new school?
You're not.
You got to tear that one down and go up or something. Figure something out, or just go in there and just remodel it. I mean, flip it, whatever you got to do. But so why should people without children care about the quality of public schools?
Resale and rental value later. I talk about that to clients all the time that have, maybe a newborn or a 2-year-old, and they say, well, we may not still be at Fort Bragg when, they get into school, so I'm not necessarily worried about schools. I educate them on that, because for resale and for rental later, whichever way they decide to go, the school district's going to be important. And
not only that, but that school district, that high school is 30 to 40% of your property value. So you take, and you can move a house from one school district to another and watch how much the value changes.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I'm on a mission that I would love to see change, where it's every school's producing, every school's good. That way, that question's a whole lot easier for me and you to answer.
Sure.
So, Becky, let's get into, what's your favorite restaurant?
My favorite restaurant, maybe Olive Garden or Carrabba's. I love Italian.
It's Italian. I see that. Mm-hmm. Favorite place to show a client that's not from Fayetteville?
Botanical Gardens.
Oh, that's nice.
The Woodpecker Stadium in downtown.
Beach or mountains?
Mountains.
Coffee or sweet tea?
Coffee.
Oh, I didn't pick that one, man. I just said girl from the other side of the river would have been sweet tea, but
don't tell anybody. I don't like
sweet tea. I got a tough one for you. Nah, that's pretty easy for you. Okay. Cape Fear football or Terry Sanford football?
Cape Fear. All day.
Best place to raise a family in Cumberland County?
Cape Fear School District.
Oh, she's
He's
biased.
gonna get me in trouble on that one.
She's biased. But
100% Cape Fear.
listen, I'm gonna tell you something. Uh, public schools are important. Having a realtor is important. Having a realtor that has the knowledge of your school questions is so important today because there's a lot out there. And I think we have how many high schools? We're 11, right?
I
Is that
think
right?
so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
11 high schools. I should know that question, but I'm pretty sure I do. But I think one throws me off.
I was gonna say 10, but I think
With the Fayetteville Tech thing, I think
yes.
makes
Yeah.
11.
Yeah.
But you know, get with your realtor, ask your school questions. If you're looking to donate money, give to your public schools. It's very important, and it gives back to you. Don't forget it's just part of
Mhm.
your property value. But if you could give one piece of advice, Becky, to a family buying a home and raising kids in Cumberland County, what would it be?
Be educated by um, true resources within the community. Don't let people outside of the Cumberland County area educate you on the area. Really find good resources. Your real estate agent is one of the best resources, and get educated on the area. Because you'll find that there's so much more that people don't know about. This is an amazing community, and not everyone is enjoying the fruits of everything that we have.
And I agree with you. I mean, I've grown up here. I love Fayetteville. Have a passion for it. Both my grandfathers were military. Growing up here, you got to back in those days. You could go on Fort Bragg and
Mhm.
see everything. I mean, you can still go out there. It's a little bit more work, but I advise you take your kids out there if you can. It's a wow factor.
Yeah,
And back in those days, we had air shows because we had Pope.
yeah,
I just listened to you do a thing on Pope, and I mean, it reminded me of the old days. I mean, it's just an awesome place out there. We have a lot of history museums here. There's a lot to do. I mean, people come here and say there's not. I can't say the nightlife is the best, but I mean, I'm out of those days. I had my fair share, but yeah, I had some good times. But and you did too.
yes,
Yes,
I
yes.
did. I did.
But listen, if you're buying or selling or coming to Fayetteville, surrounding areas, my name is Brian Moore. This is Becky Bolton. We are with Caldwell Banker Sand Hills Bank right here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Becky, you want to give me your phone number?
910-308-9419.
And mine is 910-977-1739, BrianMooreRealtor.com.
BeckyBakerHomes.com.
All right. Becky's great. Listen, you know, if you want to move to that east side, give her a call. She
God's
knows all
country.
that, but I'll take the rest of it. No, we work real good together. So, but listen, thank y'all for listening today. A lot of great knowledge on your schools, and give us a call. And this is Brian and Becky, and this is Closing Table Tuesdays. Have a great day.
Go Colts.
Go Dogs.